Hi, my name is Jingyuan Zhang, and I will be discussing self-control, facing temptation, and delaying gratification.
Welcome to Stony Finance Lab channel.
An overview of this presentation entails defining self-control, conflict between saving and spending, and training our ability to succeed. The sources that I used are Finance for Normal People, How Investors and Market Behave by Mere Statement, Beyond Greed and Fear, Understanding Behavioral Finance and the Psychology of Investing by Schafferin. And also, 40 years of Stanford research found that people with this one quality are more likely to succeed by James Clear. So let's first start with the definition of self-control. Self-control centers on the interaction between the hot emotion of System 1 and the cool cognition of System 2. As we have learned before, System 1 is the intuitive blink system, and System 2 is the reflective think system. Self-control can be excessive, insufficient, or just right. It's excessive when hot emotion urging delayed gratification overcomes cool cognition urging immediate gratification. And it's insufficient when hot emotion urging immediate gratification overcomes cool cognition urging delayed gratification. Too much self-control is evident in the tendency to spend less today than our ideal level of spending. Excessive self-control, as prevalent as insufficient self-control, always drives tightwads to extremes beyond frugality. The prospect of spending money inflicts emotional pain on the people, even as cognition encourages them to spend. In an experiment, people were asked to decide whether to buy a product or not after seeing its price. It was interesting to find that seeing the price caused greater activation in the brain's insula among people who decided not to buy the product than among people who decided to buy. At the same time, there are a great many people find that they lack the self-control necessary to set aside adequate financial resources for retirement. And in articles, Schafferin and Taylor pointed out the major factor of the reason is insufficient self-control. For those people, the needs of present always have a strong voice, while the needs of future just have a much weaker voice, so that they feel the urge to satisfy their immediate needs, but only think about satisfying the future ones. The temptation to satisfy present needs is everywhere. Therefore, saving for retirement while at the same time facing temptation requires huge amounts of willpower, which the normal people do not have. So what should they do? It's actually what they should not do. They should not face temptation at the same time that they save, and they should not place themselves in situations where they make the same voice of retirement saving compete for a portion of take-home pay, in which case the voice for retirement saving will be faded. What is required is a system like that used in golf. Retirement saving needs some form of handicap, and the right type involves money coming right off the top, so that retirement needs do not compete directly with those for food, entertainment, and travel. Besides, retirement saving is more likely to get accomplished through a regimented routine rather than through discretion, and it's a crucial feature of 401k plans and 403b plans. Funds are automatically deducted from gross income. To find out what determines the ability to delay gratification, researchers replicated the famous Marshmallow Experiment with an important twist. Before offering the marshmallow, the researchers split children into two groups. Group 1 was exposed to a series of unreliable experiences. For example, the researcher gave the child a small box of crayons and promised to bring a bigger one, but never did. Meanwhile, Group 2 had very reliable experiences. They were promised better crayons and got them. It can be imagined that the impact these experiences had on the test. The children in Group 1 had no reason to trust the researchers, and thus they didn't wait very long. On the contrary, the children in Group 2 were training their brains to say delayed gratification as a positive. As a result, Group 2 waited an average of 4 times longer than Group 1. From the experiment, we can see that self-control can be innate and also can be trained. We can train our ability of self-control just like we can train our muscles in the gym. To become better at delaying gratification, in other words, to train our ability to succeed, we can do it in the same way as the child and the researcher, by promising something small and then delivering, over and over again until our brain says, yes, it's worth it to wait, and yes, I have the capability to do this. Some of the resources that I recommend are Finance for Normal People by Mere Statman, and also Beyond Greed and Fear by Hersh Schafferin. From these two books, you will learn more about how normal people behave in finance area and how can people be normal smarter. Besides, there will be a more detailed interpretation of how to balance spending and saving. It will help you do better in other aspects to save adequately for retirement, not just self-control. Finally, I'd like to conclude this presentation with a quote from James Clear. If you want to succeed at something, at some point you will need to find the ability to be disciplined and take action, instead of becoming distracted and doing what's easy. Success in nearly every field requires you to ignore doing something easier in favor of doing something harder. That's all, and thank you for listening.
Thank you for watching this video. Please feel free to like, comment, and subscribe to this YouTube channel.